Hey everybody, I'm going to do a quick review on this knife here. I mentioned it earlier in my What Came to the Door Today clip. This is the Boker Plus Gnome, and let me tell you, it lives up to its name. It is pretty tiny, but let's jump on into this. Let's see here. We have 2 inches of 440C stainless. Now it says it's 2 inches. It's a little bit longer on the blade than 2 inches. Maybe like 2 1/8, 2 1/4, pushing that. Because on the handle it says it's 2 inches, and it is not. That handle is not 2 inches, if you can see on the squares here. It's about 1 inch and whatever 1/8 past a half is. So that's what that is. Don't ask me. It's too late for math. 9/16. Does that sound right? Alright, whatever. My brain hurts now. Thank you. Alright, so here we go. It's got greenish micarta scales. It's got the red liners. The colors are really cool on this thing. I like that green and red, and I like the way it interacts with the silver there. The silvery satin color. But this thing is tiny. I mean, look at that. I mean, I got big chunky hands, obviously, and this lanyard really helps out a lot. But hold on, I'm going to bring in a guest hand, and let me show you. This is if he'll grab the knife without cutting himself. Open your knife, open your hand a little bit, guest hand. Alright, see, now that is a much smaller hand, and it's still kind of tiny. Okay, let go. There you go. Thank you, sir. And he's going to bed now. Alright, so here we go. Now, yesterday I reviewed this knife, which I thought was small at the time, and now I realize this is ginormous, because this is the Boker Plus Rambler, and this is kind of like when the really pretty girl hangs out with the ugly girl, and so she can look even prettier. Well, this one is shorter. I mean, this is small until you get next to this little elfish blade-ish thing, and then you realize this one is humongous. So compared, I mean, obviously, you got a big, huge difference here. You got, and it doesn't seem like it should be. I mean, it's only about a ½ inch blade difference on the blade, a little bit over ½ inch, and then, but just on the handle alone, just getting an extra couple finger grips. So maybe they're used for different things. I can see how this would be useful, just as a chunk in your pocket knife, but I don't know if it. I'd rather chunk this in my pocket, to be honest. The sheath, I don't know. See in there, it's kind of chewing up that sheath. It's kind of scary as far as sticking this thing in there and wondering, is this the day? Is this the day it pokes through and leaves me with 4 fingers on my right hand? I don't know. Hey, let's review this again. I like this one. Alright, no, that's not what we're here for. Let me put this away before I get distracted. But I like this a lot more than I did yesterday, and I like this a lot yesterday. So that's one good thing the Gnome has done for us. So this thing came pretty sharp. It's not razor sharp. It'll cut telephone book paper, but it won't shave you. And I don't know. Maybe they make one that's a little bit longer than this, and then I would like it even a little bit more. But when I paid. All right, let's bring this one back just for a second. I actually paid $5 more for this one than I did for this one, and there's no reason on God's green earth to do that. I mean, just look at the comparison. If you're going to have this is a small knife over here on the Rambler, so if you're going to have a smallish knife, why not just go with this one? It's not like it's going to take up a ton more pocket space, and it seems like it's going to have a lot more uses. So, if you have to have one, have the Rambler. If you can't help but grab this one, I mean, this is the only one late night over at the Academy or wherever you're going to buy it, and you're jonesing for a knife. I mean, if you got to have it, you got to have it, but I don't know. I'm not entirely crazy about this. Now, I have some other smaller knives, those Swanee Rivers, but it seems like they're a little more useful. They have that little cutout here, and you can get your thumb up here. But there's no jimping on this for like a forward kind of grip right here, any kind of traction. It's not gonna, like, you know, like I said about the Rambler, you're not gonna be chopping on trees with it, but just a little bit of jimping, maybe a little cut out here. If that was indented just a little bit, that would give you a little thumb hold. That might help a little bit more. So overall, if I had to do again, I might not buy this knife. Probably not. It's just not giving me anything that I can find as useful that I won't be able to find in the Rambler here. So there you go. Just a quick review on the little gnome, the Boker Plus Gnome here. I'm trying to sit here and stare off camera, but I better stop that because now I'm rambling like my grandma used to. I'm gonna start talking about the old days when we used to walk in the snow and we used to fight grizzly bears, and sometimes there was jackrabbits, and we, oh, see, I'm doing it again. All right, here we go. Like here, subscribe here, comment here. Appreciate y'all watching, and I will talk to y'all later.